That's what's up, man. I've not really had much success initially when it came to reaching out to artists. I remember, when I started doing the podcast, it was hard because I probably wasn't knowing the proper etiquette that they wanted to be stepped to with. So I learned that along the way.
because you cool, but you got to find that boundary, right?
Yeah. But sometimes these artists are just, in my opinion, and I know you guys are artists, but don't take this personal, and I'm an artist, but just in a different format, temperamental. Like, I remember reaching out to Ninth Wonder, and I was like, yo, I know you doing a set, and, in London, I'm trying to, see if we can get an interview. That motherfucker blocked me on Twitter. And all I did was like, what's up? I was like, can I get 10 minutes? And he was like, fuck that.
He comes across like that, though. I think a lot of it to do, just speaking from myself, a lot of it has to do with your own insecurity, your own level of anxiety. Andre 3000 talks about it quite a lot. He has serious levels of social anxiety. So it comes across as, man are just being crazy, but they just don't really know how to operate in a social way. I don't know.
That's all it is, man. That's all it is.
Exactly.
I can see that. I remember I met Andre 3000.
Bridges.
I met
what I'm saying?
I met Andre at the supermarket, and I was like, because he was there shooting a video for Big Boy or something in LA. And I was with my girl at the time, and I told her who it was, and she's like, "Oh yeah, go talk to him." And I, you kind of feel that energy, and I don't like to bother people when they're at the supermarket. It's like he's at the grocery store, but he spoke. But you can kind of feel, when you talk to some people, and they just kind of be like, I'm trying to get these ramen noodles and get the fuck up out of here, get out my face. But he was nice. He wasn't rude or shit like that. But he wasn't like, "Hey, what's happening?" Because he don't know me. And that's the thing, is we step to these people because we listen to their music or we see them on TV all the time. So we have a connection to them, where they don't have any kind of connection to us at all, because we're just the fan base. But yeah, man, Ninth Wonder was like, man, I'm blocking this fool. And I was like, I ain't listening to none of your shit no more. Psych.
It's probably just not another message, and you had to be the guy.
Yeah, I was at tipping point. He's like, doing no fucking interviews. Click. Oh man, Thoughts from LA to the UK is on tonight. We're going to talk about social media, getting kicked off social media, leaving social media. What do we do about this so-called dilemma that's taken place? We're also going to talk about the Capitol storming, and this was amazing because we hit this shit live last week while it was happening. And
bravo to
Chima. Chima was like, "You seeing this shit on TV?" And I was like, "Oh shit, what is he
Eyewitness?
The fucking aliens and shit."
Chima brought it home. He said, "Yo, now when I see the dude with the horns, I think to myself, that is gonna be on one of them social studies books covers. You know how they do the montage, history. It'd be like a bayonet, and then it'd be that dude, and then it'd be
this guy's like a QAnon nutcase, man. I don't know the dude's name. I don't have it up in front of me, but he is on all these events dressed up like that apparently all the time.
His stylist is on point though, man. His stylist is on point. I ain't gonna lie, that shit is iconic, bro. That shit is iconic. Fuck all this other shit these rappers be doing. What that guy was wearing with a raccoon and a fucking flag on his face, bro. That shit was fire, bro.
He was looking like some Earth, Wind, and Fire meets the Village People or some shit, man.
That shit was dope, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I was so happy. I'm so happy that happened because, there were a few fatalities, maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah.
That's big because that's pretty much that's Capitol Hill of the world.
Of course. But look at the fallout for Trump. Trump has been doing the worst shit for however long. This one thing happens, and all of a sudden, oh shit! No, well, we can't have Donald Trump. We can't have Donald Trump. Do you know what I mean?
Don't think it was just one thing. I think this was like you said earlier with Ninth Wonder. This is the last straw because it was like it's been 4 years plus of him doing that kind of shit, but his base has been kind of chilling out, right? So he's saying all this wild shit, and then they start coming out with the guns, and they're walking around at the polling booths. You know, this is like voter intimidation. Like if I walk up to a voting place and there's 5 white dudes out there with assault rifles, I know they ain't there to like make sure I'm safe to get to the fucking voting booth. That ain't what they there for.
No, we just want to make sure you're gonna be safe, bro.
Yeah, they here for the shits, man. They with the business. Them motherfuckers is like, come on with it, right? So this is the same shit we saw back in like the 1960s with the Black Panther movement, and then they got quick. They got into that Capitol Hill building and they rewrote laws, and they was like, y'all can't carry these guns. And that's why you have like these open carry laws that don't exist in DC, because they didn't want brothers walking around doing that shit. They changed the laws so that we couldn't do what we were allowed to do, and they doing it now, but just in other places. So I mean, it's been going on for a minute. He's been talking a whole lot of crazy shit, and I saw the tweets that they said were the tipping point, if you will, the reason why they pulled him off the internet, off Twitter and off Facebook or whatever. I don't know, man. I'm not a Trump supporter on any level, but the shit he was saying before was way wilder than that shit. Like the tweets, I don't have them up either, but the tweets that he was...
This is what I'm saying to you. This is what I'm saying. He's been going wild for 4 years. All it needed was for some shit like this to happen. Oh, okay, now they're running wild, taking him off fucking Twitter or whatever. Oh, bro, have you seen all those tweets with like the Donald Trump with the mustache coming on?
Yo, I seen one tweet where they put like all the shit he was banned from, and it was like, it said Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, it was like Spotify, it's just in Netflix. Like, shit on there, like.
Bro, in his last days of Twitter, the last tweets that I saw were him trying to appeal to the people, these crazy fanatics, and he was trying to tell them to stand down. That's the last tweet I saw.
Yeah,
him on there.
He was doing what his handlers told him he needed to do. So, and it's funny to me because when you see him give a speech and he's in Trump mode, you can hear the phraseology, the syncopations, the way he talks is Trump. Mm-hmm. And as soon as some shit jumps off, or if he says some fucked up shit like, we can, we understand that, bleach can kill coronavirus. Maybe we can disinfect it. We can see about that. And the health lady sitting next to him like, nigga, for real, shut that motherfucker up. So then after that shit, that's when he's like, you can tell he's reading a speech.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah,
and he'll stop after he says something that's, I don't want to say profound, but like impactful or political, or if he uses a big word. Like if he uses some shit that's above his vocabulary pay grade,
that means real.
Yeah, he stops talking. Like he'll stop because he'll say it and then he'll stop because he's like, did I say it? He's processed. Did I say it right? Is this, whatever. And then he'll go into the next bit of the speech. And I noticed that about him a lot because you can tell when he's saying some shit that was prepped for him versus what's on his mind. Because when he freestyles, it's like watching a rap battle in the streets. Because you don't know what the fuck's about to come out of his mouth,
There's no way someone wrote down that whole thing about bleach and putting it in.
No. That came right from the heart. He was like, hey, I was reading on the fucking internet earlier that disinfectant gets rid of this shit.
Unless he got like one of his cousins that fuck with him and shit, and they like just egg him on and like, yo, man, bleach can like cure this, and they like fucking with him to make sure he says that shit on TV.
But that's how he is, though. He hears shit, he'll hear talking points and he'll run with that, and he'll go on TV or Twitter and he'll start spouting off shit he overheard somebody else having a conversation about. That's how it comes off to me. I mean, I'm not there, I don't know, but that's how it feels, because I've seen people do that, and I probably have been guilty of doing it. I'll watch something and it'll be somebody whose limits of knowledge go far beyond mine on a certain topic. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense, or yeah, I understand that, and then I'll take that and then I'll say it, but I don't have no substance behind it. I just know what somebody else said, and he does that shit all the time. But they shut him the fuck up. I didn't think they was gonna pull him off everything, but
did you see Schwarzenegger's speech?
I read part of it. I don't know if it's the same speech. Which one?
Break it down. Break it.
Well, he because he's a Republican, right?
Yeah. Shit, he married the queen of the Republican family.
So basically, he just came out and was just like heavy-handedly going against Trump. He was really, really offended by what had happened. Again, this big symbolic gesture of those guys walking into this specific building, and he was liking it to because he was born in Austria, right?
Yep. Just
after the Second World War, I think, and he was talking about how he saw similarities, like with his, I don't know, I think he mentioned like his parents were involved in, obviously the crimes against humanity and like how people carried that for years after the war, and how people got involved. You didn't have to be like super evil to get involved. You just like go along with what everyone's doing at the time, and and then he goes on to talk about how he really wants to work with Biden. He wants Biden to do well, because if Biden does well, the country does well. It's really quite well done, to be honest. He whips out a sword at one point because obviously he's like references his own.
In his office, he's bored as fuck.
He's obviously references his films, which like I guess a certain type of Trump supporter, they'll always remember. Like he was Conan, right? He was Conan the Destroyer or something like that.
The Barbarian, yeah.
The Barbarian, yeah. So like he's like, oh man, if Arnold Schwarzenegger's like okay with Biden, maybe I'm okay with Biden. I saw it was cool, man. I liked it. It's worth watching. It's worth watching, I think.
I mean, if it's worked in the past, then he'll use it again, and he did exactly that. All his whole lead up into his power, or his position, was quotes from all his films. So the people did that. Hercules. They were just like on some like laughing it up, man. That's American.
Don't vote. I'll be back.
But, I mean, I don't follow politics, so I don't know. But it did feel like this was a big moment where, because for Trump to be where he has to be, obviously the Republicans had to, in some way, condone what was happening, and now it's like it feels like all of that has been taken away, and they're just trying to get rid of him. And he's, first president to be impeached twice. Do you know what I mean? He's a failed president. He's a failed leader. I think that's the word Schwarzenegger used. And it's over for him. And it's like really quite pleasing to see. You know what I mean?
I don't think it's over. That's the sad part. I think his.
For him it is.
I mean, there's a lot.
Yes. Well, what do you think? He'll come bully his way through like he always done through business.
Well, if he doesn't get impeached again, he can, because he didn't get impeached the first time. He got acquitted. They tried to impeach him and then he got acquitted. So if they don't impeach him this time, he can run for president again. Right?
Come on, bro.
We said this 4 years ago.
No. You guys said Trump would get in again, and he didn't.
He didn't. But I'm saying that he can get in again if they don't impeach him. He can run again. He's out. He's out in less than a week, right? The inauguration is in 6 days. So if they don't impeach him, he can run again. And if he runs again, and we were, come on, bro, he'll never win 4 years ago, there's no saying that he can't win again. So if they don't impeach him,
I'm saying it right now, 2021.
No haps. He's coming back.
Yeah, but he's got these disciples that he's obviously.
But he's betrayed them. You don't understand. They are angry at him now.
How did he betray them?
Huh?
How?
He betrayed them. He told them all to stand down. He acquiesced. Do you know what I mean? He came on. You saw his speech that you're talking about that was written for him. That was like, now is the time for healing. Blah 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 blah. His hardcore. What was that website that got took down? Parler. Yeah, those guys are not happy, bro. Those guys are not happy with Trump.
All right, here's what I see happening, right? And just because I'm I am who I am, and I think how I think.
All right, cool.
Right? As long as I preface it with that.
You know more than me about American politics.
Know fuck all
you
about
no. About American politics, you know more than me.
Yeah, it's fucked up. That's what it is. That's all you need to know. It's corrupt and it's foul. They've got a coronavirus bill where they're giving money to Pakistan. They're giving money to Israel. They've made it a felony, chargeable for prison time for streaming downloaded videos and shit. What does any of that have to do with coronavirus? Fuck all, right? So American politics is a nightmare. So I just stay away from it. I'm only into it and discussing it because of what we've seen is just so it's unprecedented. But my point is, or my thoughts is that he's already indicated that he's coming out with Trump TV or Trump News or some shit like that, right? This is something he wants to do. He's going to go and buddy up with Fox, and he's already done that, but he's going to take, a couple people from there because he's got the money to say, hey, jump ship, come work with me, and they'll go. Some banks have stopped dealing with him as well? I saw that. Lots of people have. They've pulled tournaments from his golf courses. I think over here. He's suffered a lot. But my thought is, and I think about this, and I'm not saying that Trump is a Nazi or Hitler or nothing like that, but this is as close of a comparison as I can think of in my lifetime. When you have somebody that's so polarizing as Donald Trump, and he has all these people, these QAnon guys, and and this the Republican base and the conservatives and the militias. These guys are ready to ride with this guy, ride for him. They're just like, let's go. They've been waiting for somebody to say, get those motherfuckers, and they was like, let's go. Right? They've been waiting. Like, you have no idea. Like, and where I'm from, I grew up in an area that's heavily wooded. I don't know if you know who Ted Nugent is, but he lives where I lived, and not right in the same town, but kind of like where I live now in relation to where you guys are. So you drive a couple hours north to Ted Nugent's place, and you can go and hunt deer and shit with Ted with a fucking bow and arrow. That's how they roll out there. They got deer farms where you can go and just shoot deer, right? That's just what's up out there. So you've also got these militias that just exist. Like, I live in a small town now, and like there could be 10 guys in this little town that all like guns and hate the government. And they plotting. And if anybody came into this town, they clicking. They just gonna start dumping on people. That's how their thoughts are. So you've got Trump followers that are Americans, and we talked about this last week. They're so proud to be American, and they think that they're supposed to be what they've seen in films because that's who they are. They're these pioneers and whatever. And now our leader has been basically silenced, not by his own doing, by the people that we hate already, right? Mm-hmm. So now you've got the what they'll call the radical left silencing our leader. And when you start to pay attention to like the QAnon shit, some of these conspiracy theories that these motherfuckers come up with and the shit they believe, and they do this thing, and I was watching this podcast, they call it, I'm not going to remember it, but it's called like dollywagging or some shit. Anyway, their arguments are not based in facts, but what they do is they just conflate shit, and they start to just throw so much crap at you that you're just too busy trying to debunk all the bullshit that you never really get to focus on anything and prove them wrong on anything, because they just throw so much nonsense at you. It's like throwing shit in front of a fan and it just spreads and you're trying to catch it all. So these people think, oh, he's just saying that, right? He's just saying that because he needs to say that so that he doesn't get impeached, so he can run again, or so that he doesn't get sued, or so whatever the rationale is going to be. That's how they're going to see it, and they're still with him. And it's a code. He's really not with them, and that's just how they think. So now once he's out, this is again their thinking. My guessing that they're going to come out with. They're going to be waiting for him to just come out with Trump TV or whatever. He's got so much money, not really, but he's got so many contacts and all these people in Parler and all these other apps that they can come out with stuff. There's somebody that was putting out tweets for him, right? He had somebody.
Yeah, funneled Trump.
Yeah. Trump. Tweeting his shit. So he's still getting his message out there, but he's not doing it directly. They're not going to be able to silence him for very long. So what'll happen is now that movement will go somewhat underground, which I don't like because it was underground and we know it's now. We know it exists for sure because he brought it to the surface. And now we got to find where to go find them again. They're going to be there organizing. And I don't think that I'm on the fence with silencing him on these platforms. I understand that they think, you know, he's we don't want to give him a platform to start some shit. You know, but it's like, shut him up. You have to. Yeah. Because there's consequences and repercussions to this shit. And if he was just like, yo, we throwing a rave at this location, you know, and we throwing a rave at that location, and it's just harmless shit, and somebody's house gets torn up because of a party, you know, yeah, you know, fuck them, you know, that's what they do. And I mean, these Nazi or racist like heavy metal bands do this shit. They don't announce where their concert's going to be until like, you know, the night of or whatever, and then you go to the woods and there's a show or whatever. And I think that's the difference between what he's doing and what other people might be doing and why they shut him down. But I think it's just going to piss his base off. Do you think that they're going to just, I mean, you saw what they did last week when we were doing the podcast. Do you not think they're going to just rise up now, or do you think they're just going to disappear? Anybody?
I mean, I don't think that we're going to challenge their long-standing held beliefs, but I do think that with his removal, they will not be as emboldened, and it sends a very clear message, because a lot of these people, they're not heroes, they're not anything special, they're like sheep, you know what I mean? So obviously there will be the hardcore, obviously there will always be that undercurrent, but I do think that like the rise of these kind of far right-wing candidates emboldens this and strengthens that kind of emotion, which has led now to, they've seen, wow, these people even now will walk into the Capitol like this. So I think that, I do believe that by cutting him off and showing that this type of shit, we are not going to stand for it, we're not going to tolerate it. I feel like they've learned their lessons from his win, which was unprecedented, which I think was social media. It was 100% a social media win. Social media evolved so much faster than human beings have evolved, in terms of like the laws need to catch up, the way we regulate these companies need to catch up, and they've sort of learned from that now, and they're like, oh shit, we can't have another shit like this, because it fucks up countries. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you saw what happened with Cambridge Analytica and how they were employed to go and fuck up specifically countries by, you know what I mean? So by silencing him, I mean, I get the argument for free speech, but the truth of the matter is we live in a world where we live in a democracy, right? Well, the world is not a democracy, but America, UK is a democracy. There are a lot of dumb motherfuckers that cannot tell the difference between reality and the constructs that they have in their brain. So you have to control what these people have access to, honestly, because they will go on Twitter, they see Donald Trump say some shit, they think, yo, this is real. Do you know what I mean? That's why I feel like Twitter, right, they've got, because they're so powerful, they have a responsibility. At one point, under every tweet that he put, they were just saying, this is probably wrong, this is probably a lie, this is probably false. And then if everything is fucking bullshit and everything is geared up to push things in a direction, of course they're gonna have to remove him. And I can't say that I'm angry at their decision. Mm-hmm. And it's gonna affect his ability to make money, to mobilize, and I do think it will really destabilize them. And some of them it might embolden, but not on the massive level that we've seen with the horrendous way things have been going the last few years. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel.
I mean, it comes back. I was just going to add, it comes back to what I was saying earlier in terms of, yes, he's out of power. And of course, the president is the most powerful man in the world in some respect. So, yes, it's a step back for them, but the damage is done in a sense that they've realized what they can do, like in numbers, and the closet racists are out, and they've grown a pair of balls basically, and the good thing is we can address them up front and deal with them there and then, but at the same time they're just going to be making a racketeering or whatever you want to call it, and I don't know what increase there's going to be. Obviously, do you think there'll be a decrease in all the hate crime that's been happening? Obviously, in terms of like the violence and the crimes, hate crimes have risen since Trump started tweeting or like even speaking alone.
I think there will be a decrease. I think. That's why I was happy when Biden won, because it's
on the surface. I feel like it will, but I still think that it's just more rage means more damage in some respect.
So what are you suggesting? We leave this very inflammatory person in position?
Not at all.
Just so that the people who are really angry don't get more angry. Like that. That's the kind of other side of what you're saying to me.
No. I'm saying that if he doesn't get impeached, then what's going to happen. He's just left lingering on, and he's made all his contacts. A few episodes back, Vaughan was going on about how he's going in there, building like links and all these privatized institutions, like these government contracts, that you were talking about. So he's all good. He's just going to make his peas as he would.
He's got peas. He's got peas. Bare people got peas, though. It doesn't mean that they have.
Yeah. That's it. And then in terms of like these, I was going to call them rednecks, but these Trump supporters, it's probably a better word for. I like, what are they doing? They got their leg, like their tail between their legs, and it's just dangerous times. That's what I'm trying to get at. The uncertainty is like rife right now.
One of the problems, there's loads of problems, but one of the problems that I see with all of this is that when we watched what took place last week on the podcast, and I was really trying to get somebody in the States to come and do a live show with me while it was happening, because like Chima said last week, he's like, they ain't did shit. And technically they didn't do shit. That was the weakest revolution I've ever fucking seen. Y'all motherfuckers stole a podium. Y'all went in there and took selfies and the shit. I mean, I probably would have been taking selfies too if I was in there, but that was the dumbest shit. That was some weak, buster ass shit. The Black Lives Matter shit. Y'all killed one of our brothers. We went and burned down some shit. I mean, I ain't saying that's the right move, but that was some impactful. There was a scar, right? There was a scar. Minnesota don't look like it used to look before that shit took place, right? So there's a difference between the way that we went in there and actually went in and did some damage versus y'all, acting stupid and just running in and taking selfies and shit. So nothing happened, but that was why I wanted to do a show in case something did happen. And people died, but I mean, I don't remember seeing any of that on TV. But
I think some guy tase himself in the balls and then have a heart attack or something.
He's serious.
I shouldn't laugh.
No, you should fucking laugh. You should fucking laugh.
It's like a guy. He's like I don't know, in his 50s, like typical Trump supporter, in his bedroom with like two not AK-47s, like AR-4s or some shit, right? And they're like, this is the guy who died at the Capitol Hill thing. He ended up tasing himself in the bollocks and having a heart attack.
A fucking moron. So
that's funny. Them crying about not having being on the no-fly zone is quite funny to me. And crying their eyes out.
Yeah. So that's what I was kind of getting to. I mean, you've got these people that came in and they did all this bullshit, and the problem the thing of it is obviously a lot of them got arrested. One guy, but one of them we watched the police that were there. There's a black guy. He's backpedaling from these guys, right? I'm like, you're the cops. Fucking shoot those motherfuckers. You're on federal property.
Yeah, though, that was the problem.
Man,
stupid.
They're unarmed. Shoot them, right? So, because if that was a bunch of black people and there was a white cop,
the cop didn't have a gat. The cop didn't have a gun.
Why was
I know. That's what I read. I was like, why didn't he shoot?
I don't know about that. I can't verify that. But we did see them opening the barricades for him. They was letting them in. They was letting them in. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. And I saw one guy who was, I'm looking at the FBI's most wanted list up here on my other screen. That they're seeking information on the assault on federal officers and violence at the United States Capitol. He was a fireman. This guy was a fireman. He's lost his job, or no, I don't know if he's lost his job, but he's been on paid administrative leave. So just imagine, this is where the root of the problem is, and this is why I say this shit's not going away. Just imagine that you have a heart attack right now, or whatever, and you have to call the emergency services because you need help. And that guy comes to your house. Do you think that guy is going to really give a shit whether or not he saves any of our brown asses, or is he going to be like, he was dead when we got there, or not give you the proper procedure? We understand him as a officer of the law, or, you know, a medical professional that is there to uphold a certain job. I don't trust that, because we know for a fact that there are members on the police force in practically every city, state across the nation that are white supremacists. They've infiltrated that system, and this is how they decided that they was going to get at people. They've infiltrated that system, and now they run that system. How many times do we see white cops shoot brown people and they get walked through the system? And then, well, we're gonna do an investigation, motherfucker. What? An investigation? If I shoot somebody, anybody, there's not gonna be an investigation. I'm gonna be arrested, and they're gonna prosecute me. I'm not gonna be going home and then put on administrative leave. So
paid leave.
Right, that shit's not happening. I'm gonna get a shady trial potentially. I gotta spend a whole lot of money, and I'm not gonna just get recommissioned in another district like most of these guys do. The only person that's really gotten in any trouble was that woman that shot that brother in his own apartment. She's the only one. There might have been one other, but not really.
Yeah, what did they... It was lingering on for so long. Sorry, a side note, since you mentioned it. What actually happened to her? Did she get some prison time or something?
Yeah, she's in prison right now, as far as I'm aware.
Bitch.
I think she got 10 years or something lousy like that, which means she'll do 5 with good behavior. So when I lived in Michigan,
what's your thoughts on?
Go ahead. What's that?
I'm sorry. No, go ahead. My bad.
No.
I was saying, you think what's going on with prosecution? Like, what is going to be the process? I guess
for these people that have been caught.
Question.
Fuck all. Nothing. They're going
to just on the no-fly zone for a little while until the story becomes a little bit old, and then they're back to normal.
Bruh, they put up they had them walking in between the fucking velvet ropes like they was going to the club. They didn't give a shit. They were like, we weren't being unruly. That was like 5 or 6 of us in there stealing the podium, because that was some bomb-ass shit, though, when he walked out with that podium like it was a guitar and shit. He was like, that's the shit you want to have sat over in your man cave like this. Is
with
Congress.
Putin's face on it.
Right.
So funny.
I don't think much is going to happen. I mean, looking at this list, there's probably, I don't know, maybe a handful of people that they're looking for, right? And it only says they're seeking information.
What do you think will happen? So if they're not prosecuted, or what do you think is going to be the reaction? Could you see at this point?
It's going to be one, like you said, to this black guy. First of all, to this brother, I'm hoping that he was a plant and he was in there trying to just gain information or something.
Are you talking about the guy that they keep showing
with the backpack?
In the memes?
I don't know. I'm off social media. We'll get onto that one next. But I don't know.
The one with like the mohawk. He's like wannabe mohawk.
He's like stood in all of the like chaos in whatever building. And then the memes, like, when you realize you're the only one that's going to go to jail for this.
Oh, yeah. Not that one. I thought...
Wait. I'm trying to find a picture right now.
When wasn't Actually, no. The one I'm thinking of is the guy was saying "fuck BLM."
Oh no. No, I haven't seen it. I'm looking for it right now. That's hilarious.
But that one is funny.
Black officer seen risking his life to lead Capitol mob out.
This guy, hold on. I'll send you the picture.
Man seen chasing black Capitol officer. All I see was, who was the black man at the U.S. Capitol raid running from the MAGA motherfuckers? Fuck. So the problem that I see with this is like when I lived in Michigan, there's this town called Holly, Michigan. And the chief of police, and mind you, this is in the late 80s, early 90s. The chief of police was a KKK member, yo. I mean, and that was known.
Oh, God.
That was known. And I mean, so you don't go to Holly. That's what's up. You just don't go to Holly, right? Like, I ain't going to Holly. They fucking police chief's fucking Klans member. So, and Holly's not, there ain't shit in Holly. That's like saying you're going to, you know, I can't think of no small towns around here, but it's not a poppin' town. You don't have any reason to go to Holly anyway. No, that's not the same guy. This guy had on in my picture, he's got on a different outfit. But so they've infiltrated, and you said something earlier about you think it's going to calm down, and I wish I could agree, but there's been an increase in right-wing terrorism, and it's not just in the U.S. So the UN Security Council's Counterterrorism Committee said there's been like a 320% increase in right-wing terrorism globally in the 5 years prior to 2020. So that's a lot.
Yeah, but that's because of the rise of all of these right-wing. So in the UK, we had Farage, Boris Johnson. In France, they had, I don't remember the name. All of these parties are it's not like the right-wing people can do this shit without having the platform on which to stand on. Like, what was Farage's party called? UKIP. That was it. Fucking UKIP.
Yeah, but they've been doing this for a while. So I don't think they really necessarily need it now, because you've got enough of these fools together, right? So it's like starting a podcast. Say, and we got an email mailing list. And say we got an actual proper decent following. Say that we get 100,000 views a week. And I've got 25,000 of those people's emails because they fuck with us that hard.
Cash money in general.
So you take those 25,000 and that's your core. And I get yanked off YouTube. YouTube bans us for life. Do you think that those 25,000 people are not going to be emailing us saying, hey, where can we watch the show? Hey, we still want to fuck with you. Think about your favorite hip hop artist. Well, we're not going to release any more of your music. You still find that music.
Nah, bro, they fall off. Look at Tommy Robinson.
Yeah, but don't you think, like, as long as you jump back quick, I'm sure you can keep the attention span. I mean, obviously, you're not going to get your whole 25K back, but like, there must be a core. I mean, amongst your whole following, the 25K is your core, but amongst that 25 that fall off, I'm anticipating at least majority would be on it. I mean, I don't sign up to mailing list for fun.
No, well, they with the shits. I think they with the shits, man. I mean, if I got 100,000 people, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, if I have 100,000 people and I lose 75% of them, that 25% is down for the business.
Yeah,
they with the business, man. I just how I see it, and it's different when you have, like, look at these motherfuckers on here, man. These people are looking for something to join. They are the losers of society. They're not running shit. These people aren't running businesses. I mean, they might be, but, you know, everybody can start their own lawnmower fucking landscaping business. Anybody can start their own landscaping business. I'm saying it. Fuck y'all.
Bars. Those are bars, bro.
I'm just.
I feel you.
But anybody can do that. These motherfuckers is looking for somebody to buddy up with. They've been sitting. Bill Burr said it best, and I'm thinking about it right now. He said he did a sketch where, and I'm going to do it no justice, but he's like, I was in line at Target, which is like the Tesco supermarket type, more buy your appliances and shit. And this guy in front of me, and he's just ranting, and he's just pissed off about something, and he starts spewing all this racist shit, and then everybody's just kind of falling back a bit from him, and he's like, and I look off to the corner, and there's like a guy in the stockroom going, yeah, this guy's making some sense. He's like, so now there's two of these fucking idiots, right? And then they ride off together in the sunset. So these idiots are always looking for something to join. So these racist individuals, they found where they need to go. They found where they fit in. They found their group of racists that that live right down the street. Remember when you went on something the other day? I don't remember what it was, but you were like, damn, this is right next door. This is within 100 yards of my house or some shit. Those people are all around us, but we don't know it. And once we've exposed that these people are there.
that was
your Telegram.
The gay sex.
Right.
The gay sex thing.
Right. So it's like, you start to see all this shit that's going on around you that you didn't know existed.
Bro, I feel you. I know what you're saying, and there will always be these deep closeted racists, and they will always want to band together and form their little groups. The issue is, though, it was never so, like, we all knew racism was always a thing, right? We all know that, right? But it wasn't until recent, with the rise of characters like Nigel Farage, Boris Johnson, Donald Trump, where it became so in your face. And all I'm saying is, now that slowly they're being removed, Boris Johnson, he's on his way out. Donald Trump, look at how his story ended. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying okay, his story might not be quite over yet, because I did see his speech where he said it's just beginning. But come on, man, the banks are shutting him out, social media shutting him out, big tech is shutting him out. What is he going to be able to do? Yes, he'll be able to get some Neanderthals to drum on their fucking heads and do some dumb shit, but it won't be on the level of what was happening where he got into power in fucking 2016. You know what I mean? Like that's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that, we've solved the world and everything's great now. No, of course not. Of course not. But I'm just saying that, come on, there's a difference between these Neanderthals existing and coming together in their little clubs and doing their little 1-2 things, and the motherfucker being the president of fucking America, bro. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying.
They've had a taste, though. I think they've had a taste of power, if that's how they see power. They've had a taste of something. It's why a lot of these guys that were beat up in school become police officers in America. They were picked on, now they're authority, right? So now they can go in and they can say what you need to do.
Yeah, homeminders and shit.
Right. They were the bums, growing up, and now they went through the academy, and now they got a gun, and now they can pull you over and harass you in your small town that you grew up in. And this is a dude that you used to beat up and flush in the toilet when you was in high school. So these groups, I worry that because they're going to have that power taken away from them, or that platform or that exposure, that it's going to frustrate them, because now I can't get my message out. Now I can't walk around and talk shit to people in the supermarket and say, go back to Mexico or Africa or whatever, racial bullshit they want to spew, because the president was like, we need to build a wall. So then all of a sudden the Mexican people is getting smoked. We need to fucking, we need to exit from the EU because people are coming in over here, and then everybody from brown countries was getting smoked over here. So it just became a thing, and now we know these people, and these people know that they have a support group. I just worry about it. I mean, I don't. Go ahead, Chima, like you want to say something.
No, I'm listening.
So I don't think it's over. I mean, I wish it was over. And I kind of feel what you were saying about Trump.
All right, I do want to say something now. Do you not take anything positive from? Do you not think? So you think that this is all like this isn't really a win. This isn't a win.
No.
There's nothing. This is just like business as usual. Like, keep going. Like, there's nothing to be taken from this.
I know the American psyche to an extent, and I understand how these. I understand how these people think to an extent because I grew up around a lot of them. Like I've gone to people's houses where I know their parents was on some fuck shit when I was a kid. And I've had friends tell me, he's like, oh, better be glad my dad wasn't here when you came over here. I was like, fuck your racist fucking Wisconsin dad. All right. I'll come over here and piss on his front yard. Not that I would do that, but I mean, it's like, that's how they are. So.
Yeah, but a lot of those people are dying, bro. You know that, right? Like this way of thinking is like, the world is changing.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? Like
the thing is that's happening is like the change is inevitable.
Yes.
And the change in the guard is inevitable, and time has passed people by because of technology, and people are looking back and wondering where the years went. So they're naturally already in panic mode, and then they're realizing that the world is becoming a tanner place. And this is the end of this sort of reign. So everything is on panic mode right now. And I think what we saw is the system, that the system can by breaching the Capitol Hill is saying something to the world. You know, it's saying something to the American public it's totally. This is the end of the challenging. The very republic, the very democracy of our system right now, and either that energy spreads, either that energy is going to dissipate or it's going to grow. It's going to spread and go underground. This is what you're saying, right? You know what I mean? Is that like this is going to go underground? But the question that we should probably think about too is what is going to happen once the foot is put down in whatever way that it's going to be, however extent. What is going to happen after that? Like. Where's that misplaced anger going to go? Is it going to become a race war? You understand what I'm saying? And I think that's the big thing that I think we have to think down the line of, we're all, pretty wise people. I think, we've lived our lives. So we have to really think down the line on how this is going to affect, just what is happening, on the planet. Is this going to spark up more war? Are we going to really make a change, I think, in the way that we handle one another, and it's just crazy, man.
Do you think there's legit tension between, and not legit? Let me try and phrase this properly. See, for me, I always looked at it like, yes, okay, there's racist white people. Yes, okay, there's racist black people, right? But there's not an inherent tension between the two that is on the level.
Yeah, but that's
yeah, go ahead.
But not before this sip of wine.
Yeah, no, there's a of course, right? But I also think, say your question again, Chima.
All right. So what I'm trying to say is the way I look at things is I see, like, obviously we all know about systemic racism, blah, 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 blah. But I don't feel like black and white people are at a stage where they want to go to war with each other. But I feel like...
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Donald Trump and that kind of rhetoric getting involved.
He represents the old guard.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is having him there stoked all the shit up, and you take him away and all that shit. There's still gonna be the tension. There's still this systemic racism. There's still
that's so true though.
That shit. I can't tell if like we're really communicating here or not because there's like a delay between
UK and Italy.
Yeah, what we're saying, but that's how I look at it. I don't see that we're at a point where
everything you're saying.
Okay, yeah. I don't see it that we're at a point where black people really want to fight white people and white people really want to fight black people. I don't see that at all. I don't think that's where we are.
I think America's so big that there must be some areas that the tension is that real, whereas more liberal areas, you're not going to get it. I was quite surprised to see how segregated ethnicities are in America when I went anyway.
Yeah.
Whereas in this country, my group of friends just like United Colors of Bennington. We've got everything in our group. And in America, I feel like everyone sticks to their own a little bit more than they do here. But and just with that thought in mind, I just feel like because of that separation by default of whatever reason, I still don't know why, there can be that space where the tension sits, especially between one extreme color to the other extreme color, right? Because that's where the most difference is. Where it might not be that case here, I would say, I feel like there are states in America that would. I remember I was did a road trip through Cali. All of it was amazing. And when I got to Vegas, I bumped into someone who was some state where they... my man been on a green screen the whole time. He's probably not even been at his studio the whole time.
Oh wow, that's fire.
I'm here. Anyway, sorry.
There's some juju shit going down. But yeah, my point was, I feel like you need to strike the right chord, and that's it. Shit's popping off, because there's going to be a certain group that's been getting oppression day in, day out, and there's only so much you can take. And yeah, it's just going to bite back in a way, and rightfully so. I wouldn't judge anyone to slap someone back.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I also think a lot of this situation has been really augmented by coronavirus and the approach to coronavirus in terms of people losing their jobs, poverty, restrictions on liberties. And I don't think it all comes down to
racism.
Just like white
so they're
people
on thin ice already, and they're just trying to look for something. Just like Vaughan was saying earlier, how they just need a cult to join. It's just like trying to blow off some steam, if you will, right? Yeah, people got internal issues. That is for sure. Definitely need to address that. And
you're absolutely right.
For real. I mean, what kind of what?
I know I'm delayed. Am I really badly delayed?
It's like a few seconds, so sometimes it's difficult for us to.
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. It's all love, though, man. It adds some syncopation. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say what are we bringing? There's our projections, there are assumptions. Are we throwing any solutions? Are we even in a place to even give that
solution? I've told you, I'm not the one out here that's saying everything's messed up. I'm like, I think it's dope that Donald Trump's story has gone this way. Okay, he might have some crazy comeback, but this is great to me. Like, this is a message for all the people out there that think that all the assholes like Kanye West thought he could be president because Donald Trump was president. Look what the fuck happened when Donald Trump became president. That shit was a fucking disaster. Do you know what I'm saying? So all you fucking assholes out there that think because Donald Trump was president, you could be president. That was some dumb shit. You know what I mean? I love that shit. I love the message. That's the message I take from that. Obviously, Vaughan takes a different
perspectives, though. It's all about perspectives.
Exactly.
One hand, it brings out the closets, and I'd rather get it 100%, like no filter from you, right? So that I see as a positive. The other side of just like safety concerns of vulnerable people and how racists are getting brave and what they can do and what they think they can get away with. I don't think now that Trump's in power, they can be as brave. But stupidity will take people places, man. They'll do some shit. All it takes is just a 6-pack of some sort of beer, and then they're doing some shit because that's what they need.
There will always be stupid people, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There will never be a time when there are not stupid people with stupid fucking ideas. That time will not exist. That time can exist because that time is if we get to that.
It's giving them the power, though, isn't it? It's like, who's giving them that power?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't give them the power. That's all I'm saying. And I feel like this is a good step towards it. Silence Trump. Parler is a bad place. They're fucked now as well. They couldn't get a new server to host all their right-wing bullshit. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's going to be interesting how it pans out, though.
Yeah.
Like, what image is America going to go with now? Like, last time we were speaking about how Biden, like, you know, he got clocked saying some racist shit way back in the day, right? I think you said that too in the last pod. And like, you know, now he's fixing his attitude a little bit. Bernie was trying to get down with the cool kids when he was about, and it's just like, I guess you're forever fixing an image to win you the votes. So it's like, what are they going to do? Go more liberal, upfront liberal, but
I don't think someone like Bernie was trying to do anything for the image. The guy was just trying to do what he believed in. Like,
no, I was just saying that he was getting down with the kids, like, you know, just trying to like.
But that goes back to my point about how different generations value different things and have different approaches to you know, to life and their ideas. Some of these deeply held false beliefs that as you get older, if you're not willing to learn, you're not willing to grow, it informs your life view in a way that's not positive. But unfortunately, like, the political system is weighed towards that kind of voter. Do you know what I mean? They always talk about the grey pound. You know what I mean? That's like, you know, if you want to be a hit, right, you got to appeal to the 3 Gs: the grannies, the girls. This is a music, and I think the gays. I think that's what they say, innit? So
sell some albums right there. I'll tell you that much.
That's an album, right? The girls, the grannies, and the gays.
That's $1 million sold if you can get everybody online.
I would like to apologize to the gay community again.
That's not diss. It's not a diss. That's not a diss. You don't need to apologize.
No, that's metrics.
I'm apologizing from earlier for when I was. We're not reliving that. I hope you're right. You know, I mean, like, I'm looking at the videos now, and a lot of these people that I'm seeing at the protest, if you want to call it that, a riot, whatever you want to call it, they're younger people. I mean, and I'd say younger as in like my age or younger. Our, you know, any like late 30s, early 30s, mid to late 30s.
You're talking about the Capitol Hill?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they kind of looked older.
Well, no, there's both. There's a mix. The most of them are the people that are staunch Republicans, and they are older, but they're there. But see, the thing,
the IQ. The question is, what's the IQ bracket? That's the real question. What's the IQ
it's bracket? Like the quote unquote heads on spikes, as like when they
anybody between 600 and
600. But when you look at these people, right, they have kids. Okay, and they're instilling these ideologies into their children. You know they are. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
So the kids dumb too. Shit, damn, they're like making them emboldened dumb.
So we have to watch out. That's the thing where I think that this is just going to perpetuate something bigger. So they go home, and you see what happened on TV today, son. So we have to keep this fight going. They did this and that. That's how they do it. It's like, do you know how many white? I'm not gonna say that. Never mind. No, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it.
Here's the thing.
Say it. Save me. Go.
Best believe someone is studying this whole shit.
Of course,
someone is studying this so that they can somehow come. This whole Trump shit. Somebody is studying this shit so that they can become some sort of politician in the future. And the question is do they have our best interest in hand or not? And that's the thing that's crazy about the whole shit as well.
Well, you look at David.
You know what I mean? Is that what are the what's the morals that are being instilled in people behind this? And this is all going to have a repercussion.
Take David Duke, for example. Does everybody know who David Duke is?
No, sorry.
All right, yeah. David Duke is an American neo-Nazi, anti-Semitic, conspiracy theorist, far right politician, and a convicted felon.
Racist superhero.
Convicted felon and former Grand Wizard of the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan for years.
This nigga is a wizard.
Did they do the film about him?
This nigga is a wizard.
David Duke.
He was in the film, right? He was in the film.
Black Klansman. Go.
Was he in Black Klansman?
Yes.
Yeah. I remember that character now. Yeah.
Right. He is a member of the Louisiana House of Representatives. He's a member of the House, you guys. This is a fucking politician, okay? So this guy was known. he was known as a Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. They knew who he was. They're like, yeah, we want to vote that guy in. Get that guy in. How can you feel safe in Louisiana knowing that the majority of the people around you said, we would rather have a Grand Wizard of the Klan represent us than anybody else or whoever else? So this guy put on a suit, and he
I know it's serious, but this shit is hilarious.
It is. But he put on a suit and he went out there and he campaigned, and now, you know, and he's not in the House anymore, but these people still feel a way about this kind of shit. So I don't know. I'm not a fatalist. I don't think that this is, you know, gonna necessarily have to end bad, but I just know how a lot of Americans don't think, we'll say, instead of think.
No, that's the thing. That's the thing, you know.
What's the thing, bro?
It's just Americans. It's just motherfuckers. The ignorance is relentless, bro. It's just, you know, it's unapologetic, relentless. It's just ignorant. Like,
I think
you know what I mean? Like,
I think there will be a class war. A class war. Not a race war. A class war.
No, because the rich white people in America don't want no parts.
Nah, but the problem with a class war is that it's the you know the people that are warring are going.
God damn it! You unwrapping Reese's Kisses or some shit? What is all that fucking noise I hear?
No, you know, I'm trying. In the past couple podcasts, I've been trying to learn how to become comfortable with like my true thoughts and like explaining them. You know what I mean? And I find that I have these little vices and things that I do where I touch shit and all of this stuff. Just being totally honest, I'm a pretty intelligent guy, but every time I look back, I'm always like, man, what the fuck was I talking about? You know,
you say whatever's on your mind.
Not to look back.
You say whatever's on your mind whenever you want.
I'm realizing that each of us is sort of like a certain type, and I'm like, okay. I'm kind of like sort of the goofball, sort of.
No, you're not.
Nah. You're not a goofball at all.
No. Do you know what I like about?
No, not.
He won't speak a lot, but when you do speak, you drop some gems, bro. Don't watch. Not to say no one else doesn't. I'm just saying, man of a few words, right?
I be losing my train of thought because I be at night. I haven't had a long day. I'm already had like.
Yeah, what time is that there? Yeah.
Been drinking.
Because I'm like, yo, is he high? Is he high? Is he fucked up right now?
Yeah, but don't disregard that.
Of course.
He's like, if you're awake, I'm stoned. That's what he was saying.
You're an hour ahead, right?
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock there. Isn't
it? Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So
I feel you, bro. Don't worry, man. You're killing it. You're killing it. You're coming with the insight.
Absolutely. So, Mr. Uwe, do we lose you now? Because I know you said you had 9 o'clock. It's 9:03. So
I appreciate it, man. As much as I do want to stay on, because it's been a good topic.
That's all good.
I do have to dip.
Go finish painting, and we're gonna finish chatting about social media. If these guys got another, how much? You guys got any time, or do we need to cut it and talk on it next week? I'm easy.
I'm chilling, bro. I'm cool. Whatever you want to do.
I would have delayed the painting. It's not that I've got some other chores, but yeah, man, I would have to opt out just because I'm already behind schedule. But you know, you'll always see me in the next one talking shit. So
that's cool in the gang. Go paint, brother. Go check him out at Uwe Eats. God damn it, I never get it right. What is it?
It's Uwe Eats. It's damn, you messing me up now.
See, he don't even know.
Uwe.eats, and that's OOHWEE.
Right on. That's what's up.
And that's you know, I'm all about my food, but we're combining the beer talk with the Uwe Eats. So watch this space. Go
check him out on that pussy ass Instagram platform that I'm about to talk shit about.
What's that going to be called then? If you combine them, or is it you're going to take? Is it going to be another page or what?
No, not another page.
I feel you, bro. I feel you. Fuck all that.
Because I've got the dive deep for like that's personal page, and that's where I put my proverbs, my bars, and whatnot. And it's been inactive, but you know that's my pride and joy. And that's whatever. But the beer talk will sponsor the Uwe That's how I'm doing it. So the ooey is my love of food, and you know, that's where my presenting game is going to come in more and more, and it's a bit more PR related stuff, and then I'm going to bring on a healthier balance to food, because right now there's a lot of junk food on there. There's a lot of you know, if not junk food, but then just a certain type of meals. And then
I was like, how are you so slim, bro? Because you're always eating that nice stuff, bro. I look at it, I'm like, this guy, what the fuck?
It's like a coping mechanism in life, I think, this
because he's
food
young
and eating. And yeah, that's one part. But bro, I'm 31, I'm slowly feeling it. But so I wanted to incorporate a healthy lifestyle of food. So what do we consume? It's food at the granular level, on the surface level, but then food for thought, you know, the exercise, and then just generally like lifestyle is what I want to bring into it. But it's like I'm doing it in phases. So I'm trying to wheel in the people with the food, because that's quite easy to do. I'm giving away the bluntness of this. I wanted to do it more casually, but yeah, I'm trying to wheel people in through food, and then from there we'll the master plan, and then from there, sounds good. We'll see what we can branch out to. Hopefully, I didn't go on, and I answered your question.
Well, I'm still a bit confused, to be honest, but I look forward to seeing how it's gonna. I get you. What you're trying to do is like you're gonna like bring them in with food, but then like have wider lifestyle kind of things that they
fitness. I'm slowly bringing in with this whole burning the calories. So
yeah, like, I see you in the gym.
Or walking. So that's what I'm actually going to do now. And then what I'm going to do is have a little small podcast about food, strictly food in some respect for now. And that might branch out a little bit more. And that's where the sponsor by Beard Talk is. Beard Talk is generally all the podcasting, but I've had to slow that down just to focus on ooey a bit, because I'm getting a lot more traction on there. So while the pace is up, why not keep gearing through it?
Of course, man. Strike while the iron's hot, as they say.
As they say, yeah, man, for real. I mean, I've been talking way too much about this, but then there's some fun stuff. I won't talk about it just yet, but I want to bring in hip hop into food. That's another passion of mine. So I'm gonna. That's something else I'm trying to figure out. I haven't got there yet, but I feel it. It's in my gut. No pun intended, but I'll hopefully have you guys involved on that somehow, some way.
Man,
love to, man.
If you think you're going to say that bullshit and I ain't going to push this button. Feel it in my gut. Get the fuck out of here. I'm just messing with you. Go paint, because you're going to be up till 3 a.m. doing that bullshit, bro. We'll catch you next week.
Peace out, dog.
Peace out, my guys. Peace out. Love. Peace.
So I don't know what's happening with the world right now. Chima sees it as a field of daisies, and I love that perspective because it helps me think that there's still hope for humanity. I'm considering myself more of a semi-realist just because I've had different experiences than you. So I've experienced different stuff that leads me to different conclusions. You know
what was great about what you said, Chima, is you put a whole new framework on the you brought up things that I don't think people really considered in the midst of this when we were speaking about it, when you were saying like, these are the people that are out and blah blah, which I thought was, I always value your opinion because you always think of something that I really think about. You know what I'm saying? So
thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Shit.
I love hearing your guys' opinions too as well, because it helps temper mine, and because I don't want to run away with myself and be too happy, you know what I'm saying, because then you just get disappointed, you know what I mean.
God forbid I live a happy life. Too much stress.
So I just want to put this out there. If you're not wearing an N90, what is it, 94 mask? Is that what it is? N94 or is it N95?
Yeah, 95, I think.
If you're not wearing an N95,
classic hip hop years.
95. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Either one is fine.
Either one of those masks, your shit ain't working. Okay, I'm telling you right now, the shit ain't working, and I have verifiable proof that the shit ain't working. So if you're wearing a cloth or a bandana over your face and you're running around with the cute little Gucci shit, your shit ain't working, and I'm going to tell you why I think that way. So I was listening to some very smart people a couple days ago, and they were talking about microns and droplets and microbial, all this other Chima Anya daily chat type stuff. And he was and the guy said, one of the guy was interviewing the guy says, okay, if I can smell a fart through the mask, you know.
That's all the evidence one needs.
No. Hear me out. So I was like, okay, I'm listening. You got my attention, right? I'm paying attention now. So I'm listening, and I'm like, and then the guy goes on to explain how small these droplets are, you know, and he's also talking about, you know, because methane is, what is it, C2 or 3 or something like that. It's not as small as these coronavirus, these COVID droplets. So it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be different. But I'm in London today, and one of the things that I've always found interesting about London for me is that when you come out of London and you come home and you blow your nose, the shit looks like you've been snorting charcoal, right? The shit's all black for me.
Pollution, baby. Straight pollution.
Right. So you're sucking in all this shit.
For sure.
Traffic, underground, all that stuff. So I got my bullshit mask on, my cool blue shit that matches my cool ass blue coat.
Woo! I'm
fucking accessorized. I'm matching, right?
Bro, Vaughn, I think you are one of the most stylish guys I know.
Get the fuck out of here. So I got my hat on. I'm out there, right? So I'm like, oh, I wonder. Because the guy was saying that these don't do shit. I'm like, I can't wait to get home and blow my nose. Blew my nose. Still black shit in there. Not as much. Obviously, nowhere near as much. But it was still there. So if dirt and dust particles, which are pretty fucking big, are getting through that mask, and these coronavirus particles are, what is it, 0.01 micron, or I don't know the math. That's my worst subject, always has been. They're really small. That shit's getting through that. So if you don't have the proper protection, I'm not trying to have this argument or anything like that, because I don't know the knowledge. This goes to the limits of my knowledge on it. Is that experience right there? That was my experiment. That shit didn't keep that shit out. So I don't know where I'm going with this, or I'm not going anywhere with it. I just wanted to put that shit out there. That was my experience. That shit don't work. Get you a KN or an N95 mask. Otherwise, you are putting yourself at harms. That's all I'm saying. Chima, you got something to add to that? If not, we just move on to the social media dump.
I think the whole thing about masks, because I like to keep myself up to date, right? And I like to keep myself, because obviously I exist in a very anti-mask environment, right? And the truth of the matter is, at the moment,
anti-mask, right? You mean pro-mask?
No. Like my hip hop social circle.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant at work and shit.
No. Work, obviously, they're pro-mask. They,
okay.
You know what I mean?
The anti-mask squad.
But, like, you know, my hip-hop circle is just, everyone's like, no masks, no vaccines, Bill Gates trying to control you, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, anti-vaxxers, right on.
So, anyway, I actually looked into this recently, because I was like, let me see what they're saying now, right? And I found a good paper in The Lancet, which is a very respected journal, right? And they were honest in this, and they were saying, if we're honest, guys, and it loathes me to say this, because it does make things very difficult. So what I'd say is, if you're not able to have a nuanced understanding of a situation, probably don't listen to what I'm about to say, and just wear a mask and just make your life and everyone else's life very easy, right? But the truth of the matter is, at this moment in time, and the reason I actually, it's quite interesting, the reason I looked into this is, at this moment in time, you're correct. The evidence, stone hardcore, irrefutable scientific evidence for these cloth masks is very weak.
Very.
Right? It's very weak. Based on what I read, this paper was August 2020. All right. So if there's been shit since August 2020, I'm talking about like I read some shit up to August 2020. They said, look, the evidence is weak. Right. And this is interesting. This is why I had to look at this. I was listening to a Jamaican doctor. Right. This is quite funny, actually. He was arguing against all the restrictions they've put in Jamaica for coronavirus, because up until now, only 300 people in Jamaica have died from coronavirus. And he goes on to say his hypothesis is because it's a winter virus, it's all to do with the temperature, and the temperature and the humidity in Jamaica is never conducive to coronavirus spreading. Furthermore, he turns around and he says he's angry with the police who are chasing down people for not wearing masks, because Jamaica has a big issue with crime. Yeah, 1,800 people got killed through murder in Jamaica last year, compared to 300 people from coronavirus. Then he was like, also, if you think about it, making everyone wear a mask makes the police's job a lot harder and the gunman's job a lot easier. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, yo, shit. So he's right. So there's a different equation when you're thinking about whether or not it's a good thing for everyone to wear masks in Jamaica compared to here, where we've had, what is it, 80, are we up to 100,000 deaths now? Like today we announced the biggest single day death rate from coronavirus, like 1,500, right? So it's a different equation. So if you have a situation where coronavirus is rife and spreading, even though there's very weak evidence for the masks, every little helps. Mm-hmm. So wear your fucking mask. You know what I mean? However, do we need to get so riled up about it? At the moment, based on what I've read, I'm not sure that the answer is yes. Because the problem with masks as well is that there's a massive element of virtue signaling. It's like the easiest way to be like, look at me, I'm a good person. You know what I mean? Look at me, and I'm wearing a mask. And that person is not wearing a mask. So that person is a bad person. You know what I mean? And you can understand why, if like, depending on your experience in life, like, why you might think that, oh, yo, I don't want to wear a mask. You know what I'm saying? Especially when the jury's out a little bit, really, whether or not. And this is, like I said, Lancet, August 2020. I can send you the paper. I can show you the paper where they make the distinction between wearing it in areas where coronavirus is rife, in which case the benefits probably outweigh the risks, compared to wearing it in areas where coronavirus isn't rife, in which case it might not be as universally recommended, you know. So I feel loath to say this, because I don't think it's helpful to add this kind of level of gray to the it's like I learned something the other day when I was refereeing a football game. Sometimes, even if you're not sure whether something was right or wrong, right? You know, if it was a foul or if it's not a foul. In order to keep control of the game, you need to just make that call and stick with it. Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you lose control of the game.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I don't think it's a bad call for people to wear masks. I don't think that's a bad call at all. And actually, masks are really effective at definitely some of the other respiratory illnesses. So like you've probably seen all the stuff, like people say, where's flu gone? Oh, where's flu gone? Oh, it's just coronavirus, but they're calling it flu. Well, actually,
fuck off.
All the shit that we're doing, the mask, the social distancing, the hands, face,
washing the hands,
yeah, all that stuff is killing a lot of these these illnesses. And then you can turn around and you go, well, do our immune systems not need these illnesses? Fuck knows, bro. They've been trying to answer that for how long? You know what I mean? So let's not get into that. So you brought up the masks thing. I thought that was really interesting because literally the other day I looked at it and I was like, after I listened to this interesting Jamaican neurosurgeon who made me realize as well that I had just assumed, but we've heard the same thing about Africa, right? We just assumed that Africa were not reporting their numbers properly, but actually maybe coronavirus just doesn't exist. Not exist. It doesn't do as well. It's not
it doesn't flourish there.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it is on masks, and I hope that's been clear. And I'm not in any way advocating not wearing a mask. I think that here in the UK, I think that we should wear a mask. I think that the evidence at the moment is I don't think it's good quality evidence. But the likelihood is they do more. It will be more beneficial to you than risk. And that's
I definitely agree with you when you said about it. You can identify, better with somebody's guy. Like if I go online and I see somebody with a picture and they're wearing their mask, I can identify that I need to avoid that person because I don't want to fucking know you. But we've had 83,000 deaths. That's what it says here in the UK.
83,000,
83 and some change.
That's 300 in Jamaica.
Yeah. I mean, that's wild. So, I saw this mask.
I was looking at Goa, India had 700 deaths.
What?
750 deaths.
Just 700 this whole year.
India, Goa.
This whole year.
750 the whole year.
Yeah, man.
Goa. Oh yeah. India itself's at 151,000 deaths, though. Like the country as a whole.
Yeah, but Goa, India's had 750. I mean.
Brazil's getting slammed. Anyway,
listen, guys, my computer's about. Just a heads up, my computer's about to die. I'm at 12%, and I'm all the outlets here are freaking whack. So
that's all right.
I might get kicked off.
That's absolutely fine.
Might as well just say peace, man.
We'll peace you out. We'll finish this chat next week because I really want to talk about the social media and WhatsApp and all that other shit.
Yo, I know you got the scoop on that, don't you?
Yes. Shit.
12% will get you at least like 10 minutes. Can we do it in 10 minutes?
I'm
now it's
fucking much.
Down to 2%.
He's trying to use that as an excuse to go, but he's like, shit, they calling me on my 12%.
No, man, no, my outlets.
I got 50.
I got a 4-year-old.
I started on 100. How long ago? How long we've been talking?
Yeah, I just unplugged mine so I can charge my phone with the cable now. So you need to up your fucking pre-production prep, Johnny Voltik. What do you mean shout out to Max? Get a fucking plug, God damn it. This is 2021. Level the fuck up. You live in Italy now, man. You're out there.
Italy is ass backwards with plugs. They got the fucking German plug. They got the UK plug. They got the German and the Italian. But
okay, so what you're telling me is if you've got options from various countries and you can't find a single plug to fucking plug your laptop into, you better come with some Italian next week. You better come on the mic and be like la bigna senza la bella russa or some shit. Anything. Give it to us.
I'll come with some Italian this week. Yo, I speak Italian. I'm not bad, man.
Right on. Right on. All right, so we're out of here. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe if you're listening. Johnny Voltik's like that stranger at the party. You turn around and he's already gone. So I'm just gonna keep rolling while, and I know he ain't gonna be there by the time I'm finishing. Check them out on their Instagrams if you still use that pussy ass shit that's spying on you, because I ain't using that. But we gotta go next week and talk about that because somebody ain't plugging his fucking laptop. Instagram. So I gotta wait another week for that shit to hold my breath on this, you guys. Shit! I didn't want to do that. Rate, review, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell 2 people you like and 4 that you can't fucking stand. Anyway, we're out of here with the live feast. Peace.
Oh, that's hilarious.
For fuck's sake. All right, man.
Money.